All right, hello friends and followers. Again, this video is about the FT-757GX, the Yaesu FT-757GX. So I've been unable to transmit on this thing for a while, and so I thought I would trace back the on-the-air LED. So there's the on-the-air LED in the display module, and it has a jumper code on air going right to this LED, which is grounded. So if you look at the radio here, that LED code on air is now turned on. And why is it turned on? Well, I found I could transmit if I put positive in this pin where the red lead is, and then these two pins on the left side, I put those to positive also, and I get the transmit LED lighting up. So that's not quite right, and of course the bottom pin here is grounded. So if we trace this stuff back through the diagram, that might at least be helpful if you're having transmit problems. And this maintenance book they have for the FT-757 is actually quite good. So the first thing they do is they give you a sketch of the signal path throughout the radio with the boards. So let's dial back into that, which is at the very top here, unfortunately. Okay, this is the signal path. So I'm starting off with the display unit because that's where that little LED is I was talking to you about. And there it is right there. So let's blow up the picture. I want to follow back where that LED comes from when this thing's on the air. So it comes off this 4-pin connector right here on the air, and it goes over to the local board on air right here. All right, so then that belies us to look at the local board. And the local unit or local board has its own schematic. So we can go down to that and take a peek and trace that out. Let's see if we can find a local board here. RF unit, this is a local board here. This thing has two big boards in it, RF and local. Okay, so here's the local unit. So then you want to find out, you find that same connector right there, which is on the local board now, local unit, and it says on the air. So you trace that thing through, and it's quite interesting where it goes. Gonna blow it up here a bit. All right, so that goes to a resistor, and it should have a resistor because you don't want to burn out the LED. And with this diode going this way, that means positive can't really return up here and activate it. So anything coming down from here, from PTT, will not activate that. And sure enough, here's what we found before with the CPU. So PTT comes in here, and it goes through this buffer chip and comes out pin 3 here, and then it keys up pin 19. So the CPU knows we're transmitting. So that's how the CPU knows when pin 19 goes, I think it's high, and it transmits. So that doesn't really involve this LED. And let's check out the LED. So as I was saying, so I traced this thing through, and it kind of runs along here, and it runs way up. It's hard to trace this stuff. Let's see, here it is right here. And it kind of runs, just follow my cursor here, and that's how I do it. I just put the cursor on the line and wire, and I scroll up. And then we'll go over a bit, and at any rate, you'll find this goes to a power source. So not so much here, but up here it goes to a regulator, which I've memorized. So we go up, 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 and yep, over to here. So what you'll find is this is basically going into a 7805. So this is the input, and the output, of course, is regulated 5 volts here. Ground, so this is basically raw voltage coming in here. And so what you'll see coming in here is something called TX. So it's called TX 13.5 volts. And so without that, the little light will not go. So you might wonder, okay, where does TX 13.5 come from? And so for that, we go back to the interconnection sketch, which is the first sheet, the first diagram. And so we were looking at the local board, and now we want to go back to the interconnect. So here's the interconnect again. The local board is where? Okay, there's RF unit, local unit is here. And you want to find that TX 13.5 volts, and lo and behold, it's right there. Is it anyplace else? Yeah, it's there. And where else? Anywhere else? TX 13.5. No, it's in 2 places. So let's follow this wire back. And I'm pretty sure it goes to the final amplifier board. So let's take a look at it. Anyway, these are the games you got to play to figure out how this thing works. So that wire is here, and it's this first one here. So we'll follow that back. Sure enough, there it is, TX 13.5 volts on the 100-watt model here of the TX board. So now let's go back and find the final board here and take a look around here. So that wire goes in there. We have what? 13.8 and power. They call this power. So this is pretty cool. This goes to the power supply. And I didn't notice this before, but what I'm noticing is that when I put 13.8 volts into both of these, I can transmit. So that's these two, and these two here relate to, okay, these two here, 3 and 4, those go right to here. So to give you a visual, those are real thick wires that go there and there. So negative and positive, right? This relay here, which in my case is bad. So those go there. And these two little guys, which are these two, 1 and 2, the vertical pins. And sure enough, you look in the back here, and those are the vertical ones facing the inner part of the radio, not the outer part. So they're facing the inside of the radio, and they're vertical pins. Those basically go right to here, this little orange connector right there. That's where those end up. And that orange connector is denoted right here. So then it gets even stranger. So let's dig now into the schematic of the PA unit. Let's find the PA, power amplifier unit, and see what's going on there. Yeah, I'm recording in here. Okay, here's a 100-watt PA. I got a wild dog in here. It looks like she took off. Okay, so those wires are here, TX and 13.8, and those go off to a relay on the low-pass filter board. So here again, the power goes in. These two wires here are these two here. and these two are